There's this great suppression targeting our First Amendment protected speech. Speaking of suppression, as I've often noted, we're in the middle of the Great Suppression, which is the suppression of speech by big tech, which is controlled by the left, in collusion with their leftist allies in the media, the so-called fact-check organizations, which are really just left-wing censorship groups, and most dangerously, the government. And the Biden administration has been public in its embrace and of the idea that citizens who say things they don't like should be censored by big tech. Not only on election issues, but on public health issues and debates about COVID and policies and such, and pretty much anything else that they think they don't want them talking about. And you see that even with the suppression of parents, for instance, who are speaking out against what schools are teaching their children. You have the Garland operation suggesting that they're terrorists for raising issues like that. So there's this great suppression targeting our First Amendment protected speech. And one of the victims is Judicial Watch. Another one of the victims is me, because I work at Judicial Watch, and I'm often online for Judicial Watch presenting information, like in videos like this one. And just before the 2020 election, YouTube deleted a video, a weekly update video excerpt that we had put out there about election integrity issues. And we subsequently found out they did it at the request of the California Secretary of State's office. So you know what we just did? We sued the California Secretary of State's office for their violation of our civil rights through that outrageous censorship. Here's the release. Judicial Watch sues California Secretary of State for causing YouTube to censor key election integrity video just before the 2020 election. We got these, we figured it out because our intrepid lawyers and investigators extracted documents from the Secretary of State's office documenting this massive program that was done in league with the then Biden campaign's PR operation to target American citizens who were saying, quote, the wrong thing on elections, leading to outrageous censorship. Talk about election interference. That's election interference. So we filed the lawsuit. When did we file it? I guess we filed it last week. So we announced it this week. And it's an historic lawsuit, let's be clear. Because here we have, we're suing a government entity directly over their collusion with big tech, specifically Google/YouTube. And I hope YouTube is paying attention to this video, because we got some questions for you as well, you can be sure. I'm going to read you a significant section of the lawsuit because I think it's important you know about the illicit activity that taxpayer-paid officials were taking to violate the civil rights of Judicial Watch. And as I've noted before, when our rights are violated, when we're censored, it means you're censored because you're being denied access to information you want to be able to see, right? And of course, Judicial Watch, you know, it's not just me. We've got dozens of people on staff. We've hundreds of thousands of supporters. So this is a mass attack on the civil liberties of Americans. This is the statement of facts. So just to be clear, we're suing the Office of Secretary of State. The Secretary of State in California is Shirley Weber, so we're suing her in official capacity. So we're not suing her personally, we're suing her as an official of the government. And there's an office in the Secretary of State, which is called, this is what I love, the Office of Election Cybersecurity. It looked to be more concerned about targeting First Amendment rights than protecting the security of elections, as I'll disclose here. And this is how we describe it. It is not the role of the state to police the opinion of citizens. Yet the Secretary of State's office did just that when she monitored Judicial Watch's YouTube channel, purportedly assessed the contents of a video we posted on the channel as being, quote, misleading, unquote, and caused the video to be removed from YouTube's video sharing and social media platform. Plaintiff has maintained a YouTube channel. Plaintiff is Judicial Watch. So when I say plaintiff, I'm referencing Judicial Watch. Since May 16, 2006. That's a long time. How many years is that? Almost 20 years now, right? Among plaintiff's other social media presences, plaintiff's YouTube channel is an important means of communicating with its followers and supporters and disseminating information to the public in furtherance of the organization's public education mission. We've posted over 4,200 videos. I'm actually disappointed. I think we should have more videos than that. And as of the date of this complaint, we've garnered nearly 94 million views, and our channel has more than 502,000 subscribers. So we got to get those views up. So if you're watching, help us get it up to 100 million so when we can update the lawsuit and add 100 million. On September 22nd, 2020, we posted on our YouTube channel a video entitled Election Integrity Crisis, Dirty Voter Rolls, Ballot Harvesting, and Mail-in Voting Risk! Exclamation point. It was a great video and I encourage you to watch it. You won't be able to watch it on YouTube though. The 26-minute video featured Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton discussing vote-by-mail processes, changes to states' election procedures, ballot collection, sometimes referenced to as ballot harvesting, and states' failures to clean up their voter rolls, among other topics. Mr. Fitton's comments were informed by successful lawsuits brought by Judicial Watch against Los Angeles County and the defendant, the Secretary of State's Office of California, in 2017 to compel the county and state to comply with the National Voter Registration Act's voter list maintenance requirements. And also we had another lawsuit against Governor Gavin Newsom, and maybe we should call him Newsman. That's probably a better name, right? And the defendant, again, the Secretary of State's office, in 2020, challenging the governor's attempt to unilaterally change the state's 2020 election procedures to an all vote-by-mail system. The former resulted in a consent decree that compelled defendant in Los Angeles County to implement several new practices and procedures to clean up state and county voter registration rolls. The latter, the lawsuit against Newsom, compelled the state of California to comply with the Elections Clause, Article 1, Section 4, and the Electors Clause, Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, to change its 2020 voting procedures to an all vote-by-mail system. And in that case, we got a big fee award, so they had to pay some of our legal fees. And that California case, as I recall, against Newsom, was I think they're going to mail a ballot to everybody, whether they were active or inactive registrants. And we sued, and they backed off and said, okay, we'll only mail to people who are actually living here, which is essentially what an active voter is versus an inactive voter. The views that Mr. Fitton shared in the September 22nd, 2020 video were supported not just by Judicial Watch's own substantial experience advancing election integrity and successful litigation against the defendant, but also by nonpartisan and bipartisan studies and reports and numerous other sources. The comments were neither false nor misleading, nor was there any evidence that Mr. Fitton's comments, quote, may suppress voter participation or cause confusion and disruption of the orderly and secure administration of elections, unquote. So what I was doing, if I recall from that video, I don't think I've looked at it recently, is I was probably talking about the case where Los Angeles County was committing to clean up to 1.6 million rolls from their names from their voting rolls, which strongly suggested the voting rolls were dirty. General concerns about vote by mail in terms of the security of that and the potential for fraud that is almost impossible to detect because people aren't voting in person. You know, the typical discussions around election controversies and election integrity measures. But we were told on September 25th, 2020, that YouTube removed Judicial Watch's video, and the video hasn't been available since that date. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.